journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, we're back here. We're going to look at some of these stock indices. We looked at the S&P. We've already showed you that we're above the old highs, which is, I think we just hit 60-40, I think. Anyway, you can see the Dow Jones is lagging a little bit. The ABCD on this measures to 42934. The old high is 42960. But, you know, we've already gone above this also in the Russell. We've gone above it in the NASDAQ, and we've gone above it in the S&P. And we certainly did it above in the cash. So this is the weaker of the four indices. Now, let's look at these one at a time, because one is very interesting, and that is the Russell. I did this last night, folks, and we'll take a look at it because it's very interesting. Now, you can see the butterfly pattern that we have here going back since the beginning of June. Okay, we've completed that butterfly pattern. We've completed this small ABCD pattern that is right here. That's basically a three drive to a top pattern. If you blew it up, you'd be able to see it pretty easily. Okay, there's drive one is right here. There's drive 2, and there's drive 3 right there. There it is right there. Okay, now look at this, folks. You can't do this one. You can't do any of them. This is the weekly Russell. Look at this. There's your left shoulder right here. Here's your right shoulder right here. Okay, here's your head right here. Folks, the high that we made back here, okay, coming into today, I know it's made a little bit higher high today, but you see that number 21680? You see the 618 there? That was this high back here, 2.618. I saw that and I said, we got to report about that. Now we're a little bit higher. We went up to 268. 2.168 is where we went to, but there's where we were right there. And I said, my goodness, this beautiful head and shoulders pattern. We're on a Bradley date. Got to try it. The trouble is, over in London, they got the Tweedledee and Tweedledum. We're talking about the it's Tweedledee and Tweedledoo, and they will have what they're going to do with their tariffs. They'll probably come out and make the market rally more. But this is a really set up for a good move if the Bradley model works. Now, the Bradley model works about 80% of the time on those dates. I mean, it's really that accurate. It only lasts 2 or 3 days sometimes, but sometimes they last a long time. We're in the middle of the month like we are on that thing. You can see that's the major spot here all the way through September. So from where we are now on June the 10th and 11th, we should be moving in a direction to September. And that's what the Bradley model says. It's inverted today, but it still works. I mean, those are just key dates. And we're right over the full moon, as we already know. Okay, now let's take a look here. We've covered that. We've covered the YM. Let's look at the NASDAQ because it's also been moving quite rapidly, as always. Let's get it. It made new highs, I believe. I hadn't checked it as of yet. And nope, we have not taken out yesterday's highs as of yet. That's hard to believe, but it's the truth. There it is. Oh, wait a minute. There's the 10th. Yeah. No, there's the 9th. You see, it has not taken it out as of yet. So that's another reason to think that there's a little bit of distribution going on in here. Now, we had some really great trade setups for today. If you remember, we've been following this cattle market for quite some time, and we always said, wait for your first 382 retracement. And this was the one this morning. As you can see, there's where we were yesterday. There was your 382 this morning. Opened right on the high, 218, dropped 2 full handles. Now it's rallied back quite a bit. But as it got to that point right here, you'll notice that made the target of the level that it was supposed to be going to right there. There was your target. So that would have had a 2-point profit. Now we've had a break, and you can see we're rallying back in the cattle, because I think this is a pretty big move that's coming here, folks. So watch this one. Now you've had this move right here, and you got an ABCD forming coming in right about up here. So there's the key level to watch, this 1840 to 1840, because that's a 61% retracement. And if you did that when you've already got a $2,000 or $1,000 profit in it, so you'll basically be in a low risk trade here at this 28 to 1840 level. Okay, the hogs haven't even backed off at all, so they're not getting any messages about overpriced meats. Okay, now we'll get this out of the way here, and I want to talk about a couple other trades. If you remember yesterday when we were on the air, right at the time, see there was our noon 1 o'clock on the dot there for our radio show, and there's where we were, and you can see there it is 1 o'clock, and we said, look, you're right at a 382 in the old gold, and you can see it broke well over $40, folks. Went to 360. It dropped $36 on the downside, which is twice the harmonic number. Oh my gosh, that's even smart. And then it had a rally today, and look what it did. It made a perfect ABCD, and what it's done so far, it's dropped down from 70 all the way down to 40. So it's dropped $26 on that move. And if it's correct, what should happen is, and we are assuming that it is, but if you sold it there, you certainly made a nice profit. But your objective on that would be equal to this one right here. Okay, and if that's the case, what you'd be looking at is a market that's making. Oh, that didn't work the way I wanted to. I wanted to clone it. So if I just go like this and clone it like that, then it'll work. So I put it here. Oh, it's still, it doesn't work the way I wanted to, folks. Sorry about that. Yeah, there it is. There it is. See, I want that to repeat just like that, and that means you're in an up channel, and we could be looking at a pretty good bottoming here in the gold market. But that's what we're watching here in the gold. We posted these, of course, early this morning. It was quite easy to see this last one because it was so perfectly symmetrical, and that's what you certainly like to see. We had another one last night in the crude oil that's doing quite nicely. We brought this one up, and we pointed out to this on the hourly chart that we were making some really big ABCD patterns in here. And as you can see, there's where we were. Here was our main one right in there. Your 1.618 expansion on this whole range for the last 3 days went exactly to the number here. The high was 166. 66.28. Our sale was at 26.13, and it's got as low as 65.21. So you'll be in a risk-free environment there, and your minimum objective on this would be the length of the last retracement, which would take you down. Oh, we just did it. So we just made a 382 retracement here in the crude oil, so that's not a bad idea. You've already seen C13. You made $800 in this, so that's a pretty good. Make sure you don't lose anything. Put your stop in at like 65.81 or something like that, but it's got a chance to even go a lot lower because we haven't had anything corrected here since early June. We've had a market that came down from 64, dropped $1.50. That's all it's half. So this is about all you'd be getting on that would be this one right here, and that would be down at 64. But at 64, you've made $2,000. So I would go with the $2,000 scenario, putting your stop at break even at 66.13 and letting see what happens, okay? And we'll be back in just a moment. Stay tuned.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, traversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, hold the phone here, folks. I was going to talk about Treasury bonds, but the alert just went off here in the S&P. Try it again, Larry. The Dow Jones, you can see we completed this ABCD pattern. This is the one from today. That doesn't count the big one. The big one could be way out here. But look at this, folks. We just hit 429.60. Now, why is that important? You see that high right there? It took that high out, didn't it? Let's just go to the daily, and you're going to see what I'm watching, okay? This is the long-term daily. You see that right there? We took that out yesterday by 4 ticks. What did we do? We took this one today out by 10 ticks. This is telling you this market is, it's not acting strong, folks. That's what I'm trying to refer to, but that's neither here nor there. I had an order setting there to sell it right there, risking 50 points, and it got filled. So all I'm going to do is keep that stop working. All it did was clean out all these stops, just like it did here. It's not a big deal, but that's how I watch it because I can control my risk at that point. Just like if you'd have sold it here at 50 pips, you'd have made some pretty good money. So that's all I'm betting on is that's speculating. I'm not betting, I'm speculating. Speculating is a Latin word coming from the word speculare, which means to observe. I got that drilled into me in graduate school way back there in Terre Haute, Indiana, a long, long time ago. All right, let's look at the bonds here. Remember, I suggested covering the shorts in here the other day because the market had become down so hard, and now today what we do, we rallied up. You can see the nice little ABCD pattern right there. All it did was rally up to the 50% level of that move right there, as you can see, and there was your left shoulder, there's your right shoulder, so now it's starting to move down again. The bonds do not look very good, folks. No matter how you look at these things, it just doesn't act like anybody wants to own the bonds. We had another trade for the real easy trade for the day was the euro. You can see the euro here. This is on a shorter term time frame. We're going to look at it on the hourly. There it is right now. As you can see here, we had the same situation with the head and shoulders pattern right here. You can see your left shoulder. There's your right shoulder, exactly within 1 pip of the exact 61% retracement. And it's only made $400, but your risk here was $100, and you made $400. So that's not a bad return. Look at the bottom today. That was just before, real early in the morning. See, it came down, made a perfect ABCD right there, and then has a rallies, $800. So that's when you're trading the euro. It's one of the better things to trade. You can see these smaller patterns in here, and that's where you can keep your stops just as clear as possible. Look at this ABCD right here, folks. We've showed you before, but look at that. There it is right there. I mean, almost exactly on the exact tick up here. And that's the kind that, look at, there was your bigger ABCD telling you that's what that was. Bring it over. See how it all fits together? That's what we're trying to do. We're going to be doing this on Friday all day not all day, from 9 to 12. Hopefully you can join us. I got a few things that haven't showed people before that I'm going to be discussing about the opening price and how to use it. So that's what I'm paying attention to here right now. I want to do one other thing here. I've got to put an alert here in the thing, because what I suggested here was the Russell, folks. That was at the Russell price was at 164, I believe. That was the price that I mentioned right back here. And so and the high so far has been 168. Your stop has got to be above right there. And if they come out with something fabulous out of the UK with the tariffs, which they'll change in 30 minutes or less or longer, then you know that's not going to work. But you got to put the stop in. That's it right now. So that's it. But I really feel quite strongly, and I'm very confident about the fact that we are making a pretty significant high in the market today, basing it only on one or two things, and mainly is the distribution that we're seeing across all these markets. Not all of them are running crazy. It's just been some of them, and that's the ones that you want to stay away from. And so what we're watching now, as you can see, there's the Bradley date. It should be today. Wouldn't that be a nice date right here? The Bradley date right there. There was the 25th of March right here. It came down. There was the day that they did the tariff thing. And then, boy, from there, down she came. And then the end of the world for all the shorts happened right in here. And that was the long-term weekly chart. And that was the same ABCD pattern that we were looking at going back a long time ago, if you'll remember. See this one right here? It was that was this one and that one, and this was the same thing. You see, it did almost exactly the same thing. See there, those were very similar. Let's just see for kicks and giggles how close it was to being exact. So we go from the high down to the low, which was right there. That's the whole move down from 22 down 6 months. Okay, you move it over here. And there it was exactly, and this was setting exactly at the 61% retracement of our low from November. And that's why you were looking at a market that was getting ready to have a pretty good rally. And folks, this is what we call a pretty good rally. There's no question about it. Anyway, that's what we have working here today. Paula Webb will be taking over at the break here. She's going to be taking the rest of the show. I have a neighbor who is having some minor surgery, and we promised to take him to the doctor, and so I have to do that. I'm here by myself right now with Sarah traveling, and so she'll be taking over. I'll be here tomorrow, and so just missed that last half of the day. Okay, now let's go to where the real pedal meets the metal. The wheat is back to where we originally bought it the second time. Of course, we bought it the first time and made 1,100. We bought it the second time here at 72. Hasn't rallied very much, but we're still within $1, within $100 of our original buy. We sold our other one back here that we paid 48 for, so that made 1,100. The one we have a big grain report on Thursday that's going to be pretty exciting, the WSD report, and we'll just look at the world agricultural supply demand. Let's look at this December corn. This is the largest market that we have, and we're really close now, folks. It started rallying today again. Not much. Okay, here it is. This is what I'd like to see coming into this report that we're going to have on Friday. Of course, Friday is going to be Thursday's the day. Friday's going to be our live trading. But you got to buy corn down here, folks, if it gets here. This buying December corn at 428. It's at 438 right now. Okay, that's going to be a 3 drive to a bottom pattern. You can see, and we're in the June. They're just starting to grow the corn. You know, it's in the what they say in the 4th of July, corn should be as high as an elephant's eye. Well, maybe so. If it's not as high as an elephant's eye, then corn may be way up here. But that's an A, B, C, D on the long-term chart. It's a 3 drive to a bottom, and boy, you can't ask for anything better for patterns. And we've been down here 1, 2, 3 times, so it's legitimate that these stops would be taken out, and that would be, of course, with the report coming out, it could be really bad. That's why you got to stop at 418, and you're going to have to risk $500 if you want to be a farmer. But that's what you're going to be watching here as you're looking at these things here today. Okay. Now, someone asked a question about Tesla, and we'll get up here and try to answer that the best we can, and then we'll see you folks tomorrow, of course. And let's get moving on right here. I hope you can join me on Friday, folks. We're going to have some fun. We got volatility the way I like it, and that's what we like to see. Okay, here's Tesla. I think we're up today in Tesla. Yeah, well, here's where we are. We did finally get a nice rally in Tesla. Yesterday we closed on the low, closed on the high. There's where we are. We'll see you later, folks, and may God bless.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Paula coming to you live from the Larry Pesavento Tiger TV show. Larry had an errand to run for a good friend, so I'm filling in for him today. So one of the things we want to talk about today is the work that Mark Douglas and I have, well, we started a long time ago, but that I continue on to this day. And our main theme forever has been helping traders understand how they need to think. And I know a lot of you out there have questioned that when I say this on my own podcast, but it's one thing to get a methodology. And of course, we all know that Larry has one of the best ones out there, and he's a fabulous teacher. And that's why we work so well together. And that's why we've been collaborating since, well, I won't tell you how many years, because I want to show how old I am. But the point is that he does have a great methodology, and that's why he and Mark were such good friends and peers, because he also understood that you can have the best methodology on the planet, but if you're not thinking correctly, if you don't have the right mindset, nothing's going to happen, and you'll just end up being a boom and buster consistently. So one of the things that we first started with our first book, and I'm going to hold this up here and show it to you, The Disciplined Trader. When we first started writing that there was no such thing as trading psychology. And I know I've mentioned this previously, but it seems like I have to reiterate it for those of you newer to the industry. So along with Dr. Van K. Tharp, who was one of our good friends, we were the only three people talking about the mindset that every single successful trader needs to instill. And a lot of traders that I work with today come to me and say, I'm trying to follow Warren Buffett's methodology. Well, Warren Buffett's methodology is real simple. He knows human nature, and he could tell when people were starting to panic sell or greedy buys. And he's just became very adept at that, and that's how he became a multi-billionaire. So even today, now that he can make a vague statement saying, "Hey, we might be heading into a recession," which he said some months ago, and traders will start panic selling, and he just sits back and he watches all of that, and then he scoops it up real cheap and makes more and more money. So one of the main things that traders have to understand is that, and I'm not going to tell you who said this, but I'm going to give you a challenge to figure out who said this back in the 1900s. The adage of, I'll believe it when I see it. Okay. And we've all heard that phrase, right? I'll believe it when I see it. And that was said by someone in our industry who was trying to weed out the newbies. And the fresh meat, as we used to call you guys in the 80s and the 90s. Okay, meaning those traders, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just mean, when you're new to the industry, you can sometimes be taken advantage of by other people with more experience. And so what that means is, and again, I want you to email me or call me and tell me who you think said that. The correct phrase is actually, I'll see it when I believe it. But that got turned around so to weed out the lesser traders, so the more experienced traders could come in and say, oh, well, you'll believe it when you see it. So they could come in and scoop, when you were panic selling. So this is kind of the basic premise of what we teach. If you don't believe it, then you're not going to see it. if you don't believe in your rules, if you don't believe in your methodology, if you don't believe that you can follow your rules or follow your system, then you're not going to see true opportunity in the markets all the time. You may see it sporadically. You may be in the zone for a couple hours or a day or maybe a week or so, but ultimately, until you really get to the root cause of why you don't believe in yourself, then you're going to be consistent at not achieving your trading goals. Now, this is nothing personal. Every single trader has to go through this process. Okay, and this is the process that we began with the Disciplined Trader. Our second book, Trading in the Zone, which is our most popular. Both of those first two books are still all-time best-selling books on Amazon, and they're traded in, and they are translated into 15 languages, folks. So these are the Bibles of our industry. And anybody else talking or writing about trading psychology came after we did. So you just got to bear that in mind. So, our third book is The Key to Power Profits. I'm putting this up here for you. And that I'll say there's a lot of reiteration of the first two books, but that also goes into more of the mindset and how our beliefs work and how our beliefs are pure energy. That's why negative or limiting beliefs don't go away, because they have to be deflated. And that's what I'm doing in our next book, The Sacred Path of the Warrior Trader, which is going to be out shortly. And we'll also be starting our YouTube channel, I think any day now, hopefully. We've had some computer problems over here, so we're getting those fixed. But so my point being is, folks, if you don't believe in yourself 110%, well, then you can't trade. So effectively anyway. So you got to just bear in mind, what is it, you have to ask, what is it about my methodology that I don't believe in 100%? I've worked with a lot of traders, and they'll say, wait, I kind of believe in my rules. Yeah, I think they're pretty good. Well, that's not a concrete belief. That's like, well, maybe they do, maybe they don't. That's wishy-washy. You can't be wishy-washy as a trader. Trading is black or white. You're either all in or you're not. That's the way it goes. It doesn't matter what you've heard or read on the internet. It is about money. You are a trader only to make money for you. And that has to be okay. And a lot of traders have a conflict. Maybe because of their faith, maybe because they're already, make a good living. Maybe they think they're being greedy, or maybe they just don't trust themselves. And this is the kind of help and assistance that I provide for traders, is to, when you're not 100%. So let's think about that, and we will be back in a moment to share more.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds for both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, we're back, fellow traders. There's something I always forget to do, let you know how to reach me. You can reach me at polityweb.com. 760-636-4290, or markdouglas.com. We still keep that domain because obviously Mark and I work together forever. So let's start off this segment. I'm going to give you a little exercise. And what I want you to do is open your wallets and take some money out. Okay, I have a $20 bill here that I just took out of my wallet. Put it down in front of you on your desk or on your laptop. And just really look at it, okay? Look at the money that you took out, whatever denomination you took out. Now, as you're looking at this money, hopefully it's some sort of paper money and not a plastic card or a coin. I want you to immediately write down what you're thinking about that money. Now, this is not a child's game. This is a reality, and this is how you learn what you're thinking. Now, I mean, I just happen to have 20 here sitting on my desk. Otherwise, I might have pulled out 100. So write down immediately what you're thinking about that money. When you're done, and just 1, 2, 3, 4 little sentences. And when you're done, I want you to take a look at that list and see how many of those thoughts that immediately popped into your brain were positive or not. Now, 9 times out of 10, when I'm doing this exercise in my workshops, a lot of traders say, well, I don't have any cash on me. Okay, I get it. We live in an electronic environment. However, the most successful traders I've ever known, and if Larry were here, he'd be agreeing with this, they always carry cash in their wallets. Why? Because that is symbolically representing their success as a trader. Now, I know it's, we live with debit cards and credit cards and all that. And if you're a successful person, you may have a very high credit limit on your credit cards. That's not the point. The point is it's a piece of plastic. And we look at our accounts online. So we're not touching our money anymore. And that's how a lot of traders don't succeed, because they're not connected to their money. And I really can't stress this enough, folks. I always carry cash. Maybe not as much as, men do, because, I'm a woman. I don't necessarily want to get mugged or anything. But the point is, even if I don't use that cash, it's in my wallet because I'm connected to all the money I make as a trader and as a trading coach. I'm connected. I know exactly what's in my trading account at any given moment. I know what's exactly in my checking account, my savings account. I know how much I have in my CDs or money markets. I know exactly what's going on because I open my statements and I read them every month. Yes, I still have paper statements sent to me. I work so much on the computer. I'm sorry, I don't read the newspaper on computer, and I don't open my accounts online. All right, I get the physical paper statement, and then I can highlight stuff if there's a discrepancy. But I know exactly where I'm at financially, and this is one of the pitfalls for a lot of newer traders, or even traders who have been in the markets for a while, who just have gotten complacent, not keeping track of your money. If you don't keep track of your money and what your balances are, how do you expect to grow your equity? Now, this is something that Mark Douglas and I, that was one of the first philosophy statements that we said to each other that brought us together way back when. It just blew our mind that all the traders that we knew, now he was a retail broker, I was a floor trader, it just blew our mind that so many of these brokers and traders had no idea what was in their account at any given moment. And it was just crazy. Now, on the other side, the successful traders knew exactly how much was in their trading account as they were trading. And they were doing the mental calculations while they were trading, saying, okay, all right, I'm down this amount or I'm up this amount. They were connected to the very money they're working to grow. Now, this boils down to thinking for yourself, learning how to think as a winning warrior trader. And there's 4 components to that. You have to set your goals. You have to plan. You have to have a plan, a business plan for your trading. Although I know there's countless people on the internet that claim you don't need that. That's a bunch of hooey. You have to have a strategy on how to implement your plan. And then you have to head into battle. And the only way to head into battle in the markets every morning is to have your goal set, have your business plan, and start implementing your strategy. And that is your armor. That is your armor to take you into battle in the markets every single day. So when I talk about having your mind right, it's also about, putting on your financial armor. You have to protect the very money that you're attempting to grow. And you can't protect that if you don't have any goals, if you don't have a business plan, and because you won't be able to implement your strategy or use your system or your rules effectively. So one of the ways that you can do this is start dressing for work. All right? I don't roll out of bed and sit here in my sweatpants when I'm trading first thing in the morning. And neither did Mark Douglas. He got up, he made his coffee, he had a piece of toast, he did his yoga, he did his meditation, all before he went to trade. And he never sat there in pajamas. He got up, he took a shower, he got dressed. That's the beginning of a mindset of a winning trader. I understand. I work from home, and it's a luxury, but I have an office, a room dedicated as my office. And when I walk into that office, I am dressed for business. And that's one thing that a lot of you traders don't do. You say, well, I'm at home, I'll get a shower later, whatever. No, that's not a business approach. Trading is a business, and you have to treat it as a professional. For those of you that used to work outside of trading or still do, I hardly think that you're sitting in sweatpants going to work. You're not. You may be in jeans and a polo shirt or something, but you're still getting up, getting showered, and going off to your office or your place of business, wherever you're employed. Trading is no different. When you don't get dressed for success, then you're not dressed for success, and you don't have the mindset of a winner. Now, you may think this is kind of, woo-woo stuff, as people used to say in the 90s. It's not. This is a fact. Do you think Warren Buffett, sits there in his pajamas trading? No, he doesn't. And neither does Bill Gates. Now, I've never seen Warren Buffett outside of a suit. That's who he is, okay? And I'm not saying you have to wear a suit, but you have to be dressed for success, for yourself, okay? So, this is Dr. Paula. We'll see you soon. Have a great trading rest of the week.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. Thought we were done. I guess my clock's wrong. Anyway, getting back to dressing for success. Now, again, you don't have to wear a suit, but what I found when I had to transition over to trading from a screen versus a trading floor, I found that I had to pick out a certain outfit. And a lot of traders do this because I'm sure many of you guys know this. Traders are superstitious, and they may wear the same set of socks for a week, or during a winning streak, they may wear the same shirt that they had a lot of profit on, For us women, we might wear a certain piece of jewelry that, represents our level of success. And that's okay. The other part of the equation is your desk area, your work area. What you have to keep that focused on success. A lot of traders will have something symbolic on their desk. I have a crystal number 1 that's made by Waterford, because I am number 1. I'm number 1 at what I do in terms of being a trading coach. I'm the best of the best. But that's just a symbolic reminder that I am successful. So think about what your trading space looks like. And if you're not happy with it, then, upgrade it. Doesn't mean you have to go out and buy anything. You may have something already around your house or your apartment that represents success to you, and have that within eyesight. These little things add up to your mental approach when, when I buy a piece of crystal, or I buy a piece of jewelry, or I buy a new car, get a new car. That represents to me that I'm making it. I'm doing it. So keep that in mind, guys. All right? Call at tweb.com, 760-636-4290.